Hi, my name is Tanya and welcome to my small backyard vegetable garden here in central Victoria. I've been waiting for the Sumo strawberries to become available on the Diggers website so I could put in a small seed order for spring, and they became available, so I quickly grabbed one of them and the seeds that I'd had in my cart. My daughter has been keen to grow these since we saw them on the website, so I hope they multiply just like the average strawberries because we will have plenty in no time. As for the seeds, I have not grown any of these varieties, so it will be interesting. I'm trying to be efficient and thinking about my small garden and my cooler climate. We don't have a long summer, so hopefully the melons will produce really well. I'm going to get this little strawberry potted up into another pot, out of the plastic pot. It can't really extend itself there, so getting it in here, I am yet to sort out all my strawberries. It is something I have been thinking long and hard about, and it's a bit like playing chess. You've got to think of 3 moves ahead and where I'm going to be putting things. I want to shift things the least amount possible, but I know I'm going to have to move things a few times before I get them into the place where I want them to be. I'm surprised at how well these capsicums are going. Some of the fruit, they haven't ripened, but they've got leaves on them, and ever since we've got past the shortest day of the year, things have been progressing. I'm getting new leaves on the capsicums. This eggplant doesn't look too good, but the other two still have green on it. I'm not quite sure how they go with winter, but the capsicums and the chilies all look like they're going to make it through. So that is really good. I will have a great range to pick from to put into the glass house. In this last week, I've had lots of little green shoots from the walking onions coming through the soil. These strawberries are going to the school this afternoon. I am planting them into their little glass house. They certainly don't look as if they've gone backwards in this straw. They're looking really healthy and ready to be planted out. I've got some broken pots and saucers that I am wanting to glue back together, ready for summer planting. And this rhubarb that I dug up in my last video is all shooting, so I need to get onto that. I've dug up the giant Russian rhubarb. It's sitting there waiting to go. And I finally got to sort out all the strawberries that I'd had in the wheelbarrow. It's about decisions now and where I'm going to put them all. I think I'm going to divide them up and put them into separate big pots. I moved some perennials out of this pot here and planted it along this garden bed. I've got the penstemon that was in the pot on the potting bench, some echinops and some geraniums. All are loved by the bees. My favorite blue penstemon and another echinops. It was raining yesterday and I put my raincoat on and came out, and I planned to only just do a little bit of tidying up, a little bit of weeding, a little bit of putting tools back, sorting things out, seeing it had been raining a fair bit. And after looking at where I had dug out the rhubarb and where I wanted to put it back, it sort of wasn't working. So I got the shovel and I dug out most of the herbs from this spot. I want to put this big tub here with strawberries in it. It is the perfect spot and it gets the right amount of sun for strawberries. So I am moving some herbs back around the corner. This lemon verbena I am going to put into a pot. for now. Maybe I'll come out of the pot. I'm not quite sure. The pineapple sage I'm going to put over there beside the compost bin. I wanted to make room because it will sit better if the pot with the strawberries sit up further near the lemon tree. Just from an aesthetic point of view, I like the look of that better. So I'm adding to my list of jobs, but I'm also thinking further ahead, and the efficiency in my garden, being able to fit things in and grow in this perennial bed what I want to grow. I have only a few places to put strawberries to get full sun, so I'm trying to maximize those spaces. Along with all the strawberries going into large pots, I will also be growing all of our salad greens in big pots, which will free up the 4 garden beds so that I can succession plant in those. I am continuing to build up this soil here with the straw. That will all be topsoil that will go into my glass house. I had some destructive birds come and visit me. I am just looking at it properly. Work has been really busy, so I haven't had a chance to get up here and have a look at the damage. I just threw some nets over and thought I would come back and check when I had a bit more time. I thought I was being a little too lucky that no birds were digging in garden bed 3 and 4, and yet they were constantly in garden bed 1 and 2. It's sad to see the tops of all these Brussels sprouts chopped off. I think out of 6, I now have 2 left, but I mean, this is gardening, isn't it? I should have netted it earlier. Anyway, it is a loss, but it also is a gain, and it leaves me room to get some of the things in the seed snails planted in. So I'm not going to be too sad about it. I'm just going to move on, get some more things planted in there, and hopefully they will grow okay. I did order 2 big nets for these 2 garden beds. I really want to get them here and check if they are going to be okay, and then I will invest in another 2 for down the other end. Hopefully this is the last of the damage, and I'm happier that they decided to chop into these Brussels sprouts and not my big ones down the other end. I had planned to make some big metal hoops to go over these garden beds so I could net them easily. But for now, I will just use stakes with some terracotta pots on top so I can work my way through my already long winter jobs list. And I can tackle them a little later on. I'm trying to stay focused and concentrate on getting the perennial bed all sorted out so that they can get growing. And of course, thinking about my glass house, it is going to be a huge job. It is secondhand, and I'm sure some of the glass has broken while we transported it home. It will also need decent foundations, and I'm not sure how it's going to work because it will have to be slotted in on uneven ground exactly like these garden beds have been put in. Some parts have to be dug in, some are sitting flush with the ground. So I'm not sure how that works with foundations. I'm thinking that I might have to step down into it, but I will have to wait until my husband has some time and we can work that out together. I was doing a little trialing and I grabbed some glass jars out of my recycle bin. These are just tomato paste ones, and I put them over this red pak choi to see if it boosted it along, seeing we've had such cold days and nights and a lot of rain, and I think it has helped them. So since filming this, I have switched all the jars over to a wide mouth jam jar. We all know that French brand. I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but I had enough of those to switch it over to that pretty jar, and it sits over it much better and it isn't as top heavy. The perpetual spinach is starting to produce lots of leaves. The Mizuna we have been picking constantly, and this spinach is really taking off now. The sugar snap and snow peas, we have just been eating the shoots. I'm not waiting to make sure I can get peas off them. I'm just making sure that we enjoy them in case my husband is on leave and says to me, let's put up the glass house, and then I will have saved and waited for peas for no reason. If that does happen, I will be trying to find homes for all of these things. Of course, not the peas, but definitely the chard and anything else that will transplant easily. I am absolutely loving the colours of these ornamental kale and cabbages. They are such a delight to see in winter. Even in this sunlight, the colours are magical. They are a good magnet for the cabbage white butterfly or moth. They show up very easily on the purple leaves, which means we can find them and pluck them off and they are gone. The Brussels sprouts, I found a few aphids on them. I have persistently gone in and just squished them. I'm hoping that has sorted it out. It has only been on one of the Brussels sprout plants, and I did pick one of the little Brussels sprouts to eat. I couldn't wait any longer. I just wanted to taste them. Everything in this garden bed is looking so healthy. I did replenish the soil with some pelletized manure and some blood and bone and some worm castings. Just mixed it all in together in a bucket and just spread some little potfuls around in amongst all the leaves. We are due for more rain, actually another week of rain, which should wash it in nicely. This purple sprouting broccoli is so close to starting. I am hoping that by the time the Bambino slows down, this one will take off. I am planning to put tomatoes in these two end beds, so I hope things are going to move along and I can get everything picked. The beds cleared and topped up, ready for spring. I think if I had have had all 4 beds up and working, I would not have done any succession planting in these 2 beds. I would have saved it for the beds the other end, and I would have sown faster growing things in here so that things would be out and ready for me to plant spring vegetables in. That is what happens when you are setting up a space. The first year is always a bit clunky and a bit mismatched with the seasons, and moving forward, hopefully, I will keep all this in mind and get this worked out. In autumn 2023, all of this space was lawn. I put down cardboard and covered it with straw, and during that same winter, I just dug into it and planted vegetables. In a way, it was a very easy way to garden. I just put things here, there, and everywhere. There was just a big open space, no marked off garden beds. With raised garden beds, it is different. You have to sort of think more ahead of planting. I loved just gardening in the ground, but I knew I wanted raised beds to make it easier gardening into the future and being able to really work that soil up. I will definitely be getting sprouting broccoli in nice and early, like I did to plant these, taking tomatoes out if I have to. It has been so wonderful picking the sprouting broccoli, and not only that, I have been harvesting a lot of the smaller leaves and using them like a cabbage or a chard or a kale, and they have been really delicious. When I snap off a spear, I take the leaves in underneath it. I'm making the most because I want these beds cleared in time for me to plant tomatoes into, so I'm making use of anything and everything that I can. The purple cauliflowers are really filling out now. There's lots of little cauliflowers inside. I'm hoping they get bigger than this because that would be kind of disappointing. But I think they will fill out, and this broccoli has been so wonderful to pick from. Like that there, I would just snap right off and use the whole lot. Leaves, everything. And I often come and just pick leaves from the bush as well. Because we have rain coming, I'm going to get this straw down and the mulch down. I'm saving the soil here and making sure nothing washes away, and at the same time building this soil up. All of this topsoil will be used in my raised beds inside the glasshouse, and I'm planning on having beds on the outside of the glasshouse also with some trellis, I'm thinking. It's a big job ahead, and this is a project. I don't want to rush it. I don't want it done in 2 months. I want to enjoy the process and enjoy growing in it and the changing places where you have to grow things. And that's, I think, where I learn the most, is changing what you're doing and learning different things. I am surprised at how fast this mulch has broken down, but this is a good chance to move everything, get the mulch spread out, get it all even, and also sort out my little wire trolley so that my pegs are all in a pot and strings all put away. It's so nice to have a good clean up here in the sun. We haven't had much lately, and I am enjoying it and enjoying being out here in the garden. No doubt the birds will make a mess again very soon, but for now I am going to enjoy having everything organized and sorted where I want to have it, and I can get to it easily when I am here in the garden.